Hello, this is Aire. I am doing a special reading. This is for a relationship reading, and this is just one video. It's not my usual 12 videos, and this is the very popular pick a card. Actually, you're going to choose one of 4 stacks of cards for your reading. So I'm shuffling right now. I'm going to cut the cards, and then I'm going to give these four objects. This is a candle. It gets 7 cards. This is incense. This is a seashell, and then this is a crystal. So I will put 7 cards for each item and meditate. Choose which pile of cards you would like out of the 4. So if you feel drawn to the candle, choose the stack of cards by the candle. Likewise, as you meditate, what are you most drawn to? You can choose the incense or the cards under the seashell or the crystal. So you can fast forward through this, but I do feel comfortable showing you the shuffling process. I don't like to just have people see the cards after you're done. Okay. So remember, I'm going to give each pile 7 cards. That's how many I use for the relationship reading. Okay. All right, so those of you who've gotten relationship readings from me, then you know that this is a really simple spread where there's 7 cards, 3 cards for you, 3 cards for your love interest, and then 1 card in the middle that gives some information about the energy between you two. So if you would like to meditate and stop, the video, do that. But again, don't feel like you have to choose a candle because it represents fire. Choose whatever item you feel most drawn to intuitively, and then that will be your relationship reading for the week. So I'm going to start here with the candle. The first card is going to be the center card, and it is a pentacle, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. The next 3 cards are going to be you the querent, who's asking about the relationship reading. So this is 7 of Wands. You have a King of Pentacles, and then you have the World. Your love interest has Karma, Queen of Cups, and then a Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this will be the first reading, and you can always, everyone, I'll have the stop and start times for the other readings so that you can go ahead and fast forward for whatever you choose. So, candle people. The card in the middle of your spread for the relationship reading, you have an Ace of Pentacles reverse. Aces do represent beginnings. They represent opportunities, especially with money or career. But in relationship readings, Pentacles do address the physical, material life of a relationship, living together, money, finances, that type of thing. But when it's reversed, I get the feeling that especially seeing that both of you have some pentacles, and the World is also associated with the material world. So it's interesting because this Pentacles reversed with the King of Pentacles here and the Queen of Pentacles is telling me that you two are in a partnership. There is a partnership connection, but right now things seem to be difficult. You know, maybe it's difficult for you two to be together, live together, long distance issues. So remember, the Ace of Pentacles, it also represents, you know, it can represent the sexual as well. It can also represent ego. It's about generosity. So on several different levels, as far as relationship readings, because of course everybody who chose the candle is going to have a different perspective. In a relationship reading, this Ace of Pentacles, it can represent missed opportunities, lack of focus, lack of discipline, commitment. Okay. Now, these first two cards are the past, these two cards are the present, and this is the future. So when I see the past, you have a Seven of Wands and your partner has karma. This simply means that past influences, this is the card of defending yourself, being strategic, okay? It's also about fighting for what you want, standing your ground. Your partner has this karma card, which is a major arcana, and this talks about choices, life decisions that come back around. So from the past, I get the feeling some of you were dealing with a partner making the wrong decisions, you know, an incident or an event that kind of shook up the relationship or put it on a different path. Because karma is all about choices. It's also about destiny and fate. And so I feel like you had to sort of be on the defensive, solve a problem in the relationship, or sort of take responsibility for some of the things that your partner was doing or making decisions. So I see you, you know, when I see this defensiveness from the Seven of Wands, I get a feeling that some of you, your partners, were kind of wishy-washy, indecisive, but karma usually addresses what goes around comes around. The decisions you make now are decisions that will set in motion future events. And so I feel like in this karma card, some major event happened between you two, marriage, divorce, big things like that, that probably affected your partner and, as I said, put you in a difficult position. In the present, we have this interesting combination. Once again, you both have pentacles, but here in the present, you have a King of Pentacles. This is a Queen of Cups, and water and earth. It is a good combination, you know, if you know, and I'm not, again, giving an astrological reading on this, but earth and water are nurturing to each other, and water nurtures earth, and earth in return bears fruit, you know, prosperity. And so you have this energy of being very practical, stable, but your partner, yes, very watery right now, very emotional. And so this Queen of Cups, she's also the Queen of Intuition, and not just love. The Queen of Cups can represent self-love and, you know, opening up to love. So you're kind of, it feels like your partner is idealistic about the relationship, and you're more practical and grounded. So when I look at the future, I have the World, and your partner has a Queen of Pentacles. So note the transition between queens, because those are passive energy. As we move from the feelings and emotions, we see this Queen of Pentacles, where it feels as if in the future your partners might pull back a little bit. They're going to be more grounded and stable too. But I also feel that there's going to be like a little shift here, because you have the World, and that's your major arcana. And this is a closing of a chapter, because this is the last major arcana card. It's number 21. And that can be interpreted for some of you, this future, where one, the first thing I thought was, well, you might be turning another chapter, going to moving on, and your partner is just going to, you know, just Queen of Pentacles. This is a very practical card. It's not necessarily about love. And so I get the feeling that you might be moving on and your partner is going to sort of like fall out of love or pull back. Now that can happen in several ways for all of you many people who chose the candle. But overall, for those of you who did choose the candle, as far as the relationship reading, I would say this is about shifts. And it can also be about your shift away from the relationship, or a shift to, it can be a shift to the next level where the relationship starts to grow. So this Queen of Pentacles here, not necessarily bad, because it means that maybe your partner is ready to move forward to a more solid, committed relationship in real life, living together, seeing each other, getting more serious. The Queen of Pentacles does represent the faithful partner and dutiful housewife. But as I said, this Ace of Pentacles is reversed. And so I feel like because of certain energies with your partner, it feels like your partner is also dealing with big shifts from the Karma card. It feels as if things aren't able to move forward and grow, because the Ace of Pentacles is also about the earth, prosperity. As I said, it's all about new births and beginnings, growing, anything associated with earth. That's the Ace of Pentacles, practical life and living together. So it feels like your life paths together are still not quite merging. So yes, that is the dominant theme for your reading, candle people. Shifts, and whether you two can stay together through those shifts, and whether you two will eventually get back on the same page. Okay, so guess what? I am going to go ahead and do the incense people. Okay, so your center card is an Eight of Pentacles. And this is all about work, dedication, and commitment. You're like in the zone, you're very focused. And that's always a good card, not necessarily romantic, but it just means that in the relationship, you're attending to practical matters here, about life, the relationship. And some of you might just have met each other, so the relationship is relatively new. These are your cards for those of you who are the Aquarian. I have a Ten of Cups. I have a King of Swords. And then a Two of Swords. For your love interest, there's a Ten of Swords. Very interesting contrast. Ten of Cups, Ten of Swords. I have an Ace of Cups. And then the shadow side. Okay, so my first impressions here, with this Eight of Pentacles in the middle, for all of you incense people, fixing a problem, repairing a relationship, okay, getting back on track. And what I'm seeing here between your cards and your love interest cards is this sense of your partner messing up, or your partner having real life issues. The Ten of Swords and the shadow side, which is also called the Devil in some tarot spreads, that's kind of like a really serious combination where your partner, you know, maybe there are financial issues that are affecting the relationship, but your partner, you know, especially with this Ace of Cups in the middle, your partner emotionally is just trying to get through a very difficult time in his or her life. That was my first impression. And when I look at your cards, Ten of Cups, King of Swords, Two of Swords. Swords are the cards of anxiety, decision making, judgment. It's also about how we perceive reality, our mental state, you know, depression. So yeah, swords are a little bit, you know, depressing, because most of them are about heartbreak and pain and difficult situations that you kind of have to negotiate. So I see you being the one who's kind of trying to think through things, trying to make decisions. Is this person really the right person for me? These two cards are the past. So as I said, 10 of Cups and 10 of Swords. And remember, 10 is the number of completion. It means the number 10, because it's at the very end of a cycle, and then you start over again with the Ace. It does represent a situation coming to a head, fulfillment of whatever that element is. So I see you here in the past getting ready to, you are ready to commit to the relationship, but your love interest wasn't. And once again, this 10 of Swords, it can represent depression. It can represent backstabbing, being hurt, being blindsided, people ganging up on you. And so I feel like this is more about your partner being in, just not being ready, just having a lot of baggage and issues that are preventing you two from moving forward. And so when we look at the present, King of Swords and Ace of Cups, I also feel like you're still dominant in this relationship, where the King of Swords is a very intellectual, smart person. And so I see you guys thinking, you better get your act together. Okay. In the meantime, your partner, Ace of Cups, falling in love, emotional connection to you. But then when we get to the future, again, I see a very difficult situation, and not necessarily abusive, but I feel like because you have a Two of Swords, which is the card of making decisions, and your love interest has this shadow side, and this can deal with addiction, toxic behavior, and it's actually an amplification of this Ten of Swords. As I said, this is a card where you're pretty much fighting your demons. And some of you, in general, it feels like some of you might be attached to a partner who has some baggage and emotional issues that they're not sharing with you. And at the same time, you're going to be coming to this crossroads where you have to decide, am I going to trust this person? Am I going to stick it out with them? Because remember, you do have that Eight of Pentacles here. So the best way I can sum up your relationship spread, incense people, is that in a way you're going to be facing some tough decisions because your partner is going to be acting out. I'm not saying anyone's going to get hit or anything, but I feel like this is going to be a very frustrating time in different ways with the relationship and with your love interest. Doesn't mean, also it doesn't mean that the shadow side is about being mean and hurting people. This can be like an individual journey where, as I said, sometimes this is related to addiction, alcoholism, drug use, sexual abuse, whatever you're afraid of, whatever causes you anxiety, whatever those demons are that are holding you back. The shadow side is about overcoming those demons. And so, and like I said, several different layers. It doesn't have to be the extreme of drug abuse, but it can mean that your partner is going to have a big struggle in the relationship, and it might be a cause for doubt. And this can also mean two people who don't disagree, who don't agree on things. They're not on the same page. So be prepared for that, but you have this strong energy in the middle where the Eight of Pentacles, as I said, it's about solving problems. It's about being focused and committed to whatever it is you're doing. Okay, we are now going to go ahead to the people who chose the seashell. The middle card, it's going to be the Star. This is about hope and inspiration, optimism. Your cards, your first card, Knight of Cups, the Sun, and the Empress. Very, very strong combination here. So far, the cards are just like very optimistic and happy. Your partner has the High Priest, the Page of Wands, Seven of Cups. Okay, so first I want to point out that you've got a lot of major arcana cards here, shell people. The High Priest, which is about contracts and tradition and family and obligations. It can even mean marriage in some cases, a marriage contract. It can mean legal issues as well, negotiation, mediator. You have the Sun here, and this is the card of hope and positivity. And take note, it's also with the star in the middle, the card of hope. I can't think of a stronger combination that says it'll all work out. You know, it's don't worry. But then you also, for you, you have the Empress here. The Empress can actually be about an actual pregnancy, because if you look at the card, she's pregnant. So she's the goddess of fertility. She's the goddess of love and sexuality. Take note, she is about romance, but it's not like marriage, you know, or long-term commitment. Sometimes when I see the Empress, I think of having an affair. Sometimes when I see the Empress, I see another woman, okay? But this is on your side. So I kind of feel like there's going to be a lot of sexual energy in your future. But also this could be about romance and starting a romance, and it feels like your energy in the future, this is the past, present, and future. Your energy in the future is going to be, your romantic energy is really about to take a big spike from what I can see. So the past, yes, you have a Knight of Cups and a High Priest. The Knight of Cups is always about someone approaching for love, someone who's going to start a relationship. Sometimes it means meeting someone who's interested. So I see, again, I see sort of like your love energy stronger than your partner. The High Priest, as I said, it's associated with family and traditions. And as I said, legal issues, contracts, marriage. And so I feel like for some of you, in the past, your love interest had other obligations or another relationship. At the time you were ready for love or ready for a relationship. Now I kind of see here in the present, the Sun, there's still a lot of positive energy around you. And so the Page of Wands, it's usually the card of good news. It's not a Page of Cups. If it was a Page of Cups, it would tell me that your partner or love interest is falling in love. But the Page of Wands, it's about excitement, about a new journey. It can mean good news, that maybe for some of you, you've gotten some, you know, someone asked you on a date, you had a great date, and you both got along pretty well. So your partner is responding positively to you at this time. But for them, it's a new adventure. And sometimes this can also represent immaturity, meaning this person is not as far along in the relationship, or they're not taking the relationship seriously yet. Okay, so when we come here to the future, show people, we have Cups. And the Seven of Cups for your love interest simply means you have to choose. Stop procrastinating and make a decision. And here you are, again, a very strong sexual energy, but your partner might still need to get it together and make a decision. And I feel like they will, seeing that the star here is in the middle. But yeah, it feels like, one, your energy in the relationship is much stronger. And for your partner, it feels like they're still just getting started, but you know, it feels as if they can. They just have to stop being emotionally stuck. And they might also need to sort of grow in the relationship a little bit more. As I said, I'm feeling more of this childlike newbie beginner vibe in the relationship, where it feels as if you are the one who's more optimistic and open and happy, and they respond pretty well to that. So that's what I'm seeing as far as relationship energy for you shell people. Be prepared for your partner to be excited about being with you, or for some of you, it can mean you're in a long-term relationship and your partner is still less committed. They're still like a beginner in the relationship, but be prepared for your partner to emotionally be a little wishy-washy as far as the relationship. Okay. So, shell people, that was your reading. So, for those of you who chose the crystal, okay, so this is the last reading. The first card in the center is the Wheel of the Year. This is the card of change. Everything changes. It's natural changes. And there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? People come into your life, people go out. This addresses life and death. But you shouldn't try to fight change. You can't really. You have to let things go. Let things that are meant to be happen. And just trust in the natural order of the universe. Now your cards are 10 of Pentacles, and this is wonderful because obviously the Wheel of the Year, because it's about the natural changes in the world, in the earth, these two cards have a strong relationship. I have a 2 of Cups and then a 4 of Cups. For your partner, this is 6 of Wands. I have Justice. And then a 5 of Wands. So it's interesting, you have a lot of water energy. Your love interest has a lot of wands, fire energy. These two cards are the past, this is the present, this is the future. So what we're seeing here with the natural changes, okay, so that's the dominant theme of what's going on, shifts and changes here. I do see this 10 of Pentacles here in the past, your partner, 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands, it's about victory, confidence, self-assurance. 10 of Pentacles, it's about happy, stable home life. Okay, and I'm getting that strong vibe here, especially with the 2 of Cups and Justice. If I didn't know any better, I almost feel like these two cards, you have a 2 of Cups here in the present, which is about love and commitment, even marriage. Your partner has Justice, and the first thing I thought, is this about a divorce or marriage, or someone, your partner, are about to get a divorce? Because usually when I see this in relationship readings, this represents legal issues, and this is also a major arcana card. So for some of you, yeah, you might be with a partner who's in the process of separating or getting a divorce, and there's some legal issues they have to handle. But also Justice is about the moral and just thing to do, it's about the moral decisions you make. And so when I see this across from a 2 of Cups, again, I get the feeling that this is about doing the right thing in the relationship. You are emotionally committed with this 2 of Cups, and this person is making a decision about the relationship. So when we get here to the future, you have a 4 of Cups, and this can be about emotional unhappiness. And in the future, your partner has this 5 of Wands, and that card is about conflict. And so I'm getting that you two, some of you, I get the feeling that some of you have been in long-term committed relationships, and one scenario is you're tired of waiting, what's going on. There are always some conflicts. It could be also a conflict with a previous marriage or relationship going on here. But with the Wheel of the Year in the center, as far as the dominant energy of the relationship. I feel like it's the Oracle saying things are changing. Go with the flow here. This argument or conflict, it can happen in different ways for many of you who chose the crystal. But I'm getting a sense that you two are trying to work things out, but you're dealing with a lot of shifts, adjustments. It's a matter of flexibility. And I feel like the flexibility and learning to adjust is falling more in your partner than you. I feel like you're able to go with the flow of the relationship and handle obstacles, and you're ready to move forward. And then your partner is dealing with a couple things. I want to do it my way. That's the biggest impression I got from your love interest cards. I want to do it my way, and you're like, okay, whatever, So it's a matter of your partner choosing not to go through this situation alone, and allowing you to be a real supportive partner in the process as well. But it feels like with this Four of Cups in the future and this conflict with the Five of Wands, that they're pushing you away. And emotionally, you're just stepping back. Like, I'm really tired of what's going on with you, and I wish that we could work this out together. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this new format. It saves me a little bit of time because I feel like it's short, it's sweet, gets to the point. And doing this weekly, I think it'll be much better instead of waiting every month to figure out what's going on in the relationship. So expect this again next week. And if you would like your own relationship reading, why don't you go to tarotbyaire.com and you can get your own specialized video reading for your relationship just like this. What your partner's thinking and feeling, what their intent is. And it's only for $15. So check it out. And thank you to everyone who was worried, who hadn't heard from me. I'm doing okay, but the career things get in the way, and I've been very, very busy. So I apologize. There's been a big shift in my life recently. So I just want to thank you guys for your support and your patience. And, if you like this, let me know in your comments. So take care. And as always, I wish you love and light.